What's going on, Vol fans? Welcome into Tennessee Football Talk. We've got breaking news. That means we got to get you a video as quickly as possible because Joey Aguilar has been named the starter for the 2025 football season. Now, let's be real. I think this is all something that we expected to happen. Ever since Nico transferred back in April, and then Joey Aguilar entered the transfer portal just a couple of days later, after Nico obviously announced that he was going to UCLA, I think everybody expected him to get the nod to start the 2025 CFB season. And I think at the end of the day, it just boils down to who does Heupel trust to run his offense, okay? I don't think this one came down to who is the best pure passer, who is the most accurate, who has the strongest arm, right? It came down to who does Heupel trust to run his offense the best? And he went with a guy who has 47 career collegiate football games played, compared to Jake Merklinger, who has 2, and George McIntyre, who has 0. Okay? And so this isn't an easy offense to run. This isn't a classic 1990s I formation, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type offense. No. It takes a lot. You got to be able to read a defense. You got to be able to read a defense pre-snap and post-snap. There's a lot that comes with running Josh Heupel's system. And so he went with a guy who has had to go against collegiate defenses for 47 games in his career. It makes the most sense. Okay, now, I don't think this means that Joey Aguilar is the starting quarterback now, and Joey Aguilar is also going to be the starting quarterback come game 12. I think that there's definitely room to argue that if he struggles, I don't think Josh Heupel is going to be, short and taking him off the field. I think we're still going to see every single one of these guys this year. But for the time being, Heupel believes that Aguilar is going to be the guy that leads this team going forward in this next season. We got a lot more to talk about, but make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, okay? We're the fastest growing Tennessee football channel right here on this platform. Daily videos, all 100% free. When everything happens, we drop everything, get you a video as quickly as possible. So subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free to do so. Let's talk about his skill set, okay? Because there's a lot about Joey Aguilar to like. There's also a lot about Joey Aguilar to be a little bit cautious about. We all know the turnover issue that he has. I think he led the country in turnover-worthy plays in 2023, okay? That was his best year at Appalachian State as well. Last year took a little bit of a dip, but honestly, I think he was in a really, really poor situation. If you look back at their games last year and if you look at the box scores, they were trailing very quickly in almost every single game that they played. Their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And so Joey Aguilar was pretty consistently playing from behind. Now we know that this team, anytime Josh Heupel's the coach of any team, they're going to do better when they're playing with the lead, when they get that lead early. And so I feel like for a guy who also plays better with a lead, this is kind of a pretty good matchup. Now he will make some silly decisions still. That's what he's going to do. He's got a little bit of Brett Favre to him. Thinks that he can make any single throw across the field. He'll throw it into triple coverage, throw it into a tight window, because guess what? He believes he can make that throw. Now, sometimes he will, and it'll be amazing, and we'll be pumped up, high-fiving. Sometimes he's not going to. He's got to turn the football over. And that's going to be something I think we all have to get accustomed to, because we really haven't, since Heupel's been here, had to deal with quarterbacks with turnover issues. We all know that Hendon Hooker was the best in college football at keeping the football to Tennessee players, right? Not giving it to the other team. I think he had 3 interceptions his first season in 2021. I think he had 4 or maybe 5 in 2023. 2022. Joe Milton didn't turn it over a ton. Nico every now and then, but still not like a crazy turnover issue. And so it just feels like it's going to be something new. It's going to be something that we all have to get accustomed to. But at the same time, I think we're going to see a lot more big plays. He's not going to be as timid. He's not going to hold the ball as long as Nico did last year. Nico sometimes was afraid to just rip it. That's not Joey. He has a very short memory, right? So very, very quickly, after he makes a mistake, he's going to forget about it and he's going to go back to throwing that ball. which I think as a quarterback is a really good thing to have as well. Now, Jake and George, it's going to be interesting to see how this year plays out for them. I think that everything that we've heard from scrimmages so far, from that first one especially, George looked really, really good. Now, this past one from Saturday, Joey looked the best, and I think that's why, I think it was Friday, that's why this information is coming out so quickly right after that. I think that they saw what they needed to see on Friday, and they said, you know what? We have 13 days until we're playing a game. It's going to suit our team best. It's going to suit whoever gets this job the best if they can run with the ones as long as they can. If Joey can get 2 straight weeks, 13 straight days, or I guess 12 straight days of practice before that game against Syracuse of running with the ones. Because whoever gets this job, it's not going to do them any favors if they're splitting time with the other guys. They need to be solely focused on working with those wide receivers, working with Mike Matthews, working with Travis Smith, working with Braylon Staley, working with Miles Kitselman. Like, they need to have that practice. So I think that's why this decision's coming out now that it is. They saw everything they needed to on the Friday scrimmage, and they said, yep, he's our guy. And I think the whole time they pretty much leaned. I think the coaching staff, they might not tell you this, but I would be very, very shocked if they didn't lean the entire time Joey's going to be the starter. But of course, they wanted to make this a competition. They wanted to give those guys the opportunity to say, hey, if you can blow us away, go do it. And Joey has done everything they've wanted him to. He's done everything they needed him to. I don't know where Jake Merklinger goes from here. Okay, it's going to be an interesting, I think, year for him because he's a second-year player. He's a 4-star quarterback. He's about to be going into his 3rd year next year. When Joey's done this year, George, who's a 5-star, is going to go into his 2nd year, and then you're bringing in Faison Brandon, who's another 5-star. So I don't know what's going to happen with Jake at the end of the season, and I don't want to be talking into the seasons right now because it's August, and who knows, Jake Merklinger could be the starter come week 2, come week 3. But as of right now, we know it's Joey. And I've got a lot of faith in him. I truly do. I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks. I think we're going to see a lot of head-scratching plays sometimes, but it's going to be fun, okay? I think he's going to make a ton of plays. His deep ball accuracy is elite. That was one of the best things he did at Appalachian State. And we all know that Nico had a lot of really positive parts of his game. The deep ball accuracy was not one of them. So many of those games, you go back, you watch the film. I'm talking Florida. I'm talking Bama. I'm talking Kentucky. All of those games in which we won, yes, but they were a lot closer than they all needed to be. Josh Heupel had guys open all season long, and Nico just missed them. And I don't think Joey's going to do that. So I'm excited for him. I think that it's going to be an interesting run to see him. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think, if anything, this thing's not over. These guys could go out. We all remember Joe Milton got the starting job in 2021. And come week 4, Hendon Hooker was the guy and never looked back for the next season and a half. So this thing's not over, but as we sit right now, Joey Aguilar is your guy going into 2025. Appreciate you guys for watching. That's going to be it for today's show. Make sure you subscribe and come back tomorrow because we'll have more on this.